morning, everyone. This is Mike in Detroit, and we are going to do another beginner piano lesson. So far, we have, in if you're jumping in here, I'm going to figure out how to put those links in my description. Um, and but if I can't figure it out, just subscribe, and you'll look in my or click on my videos, and you'll find beginner 1, 2, and 3. So make sure you do those first. In those videos, we figured out all the names of the notes and how to do major and minor triads. So for those of you who are just starting off, just remember we all got to start someplace. Try your best, and I know it's not that easy, but try your best to dodge getting ahead of yourself, because that'll trip you up later on. So these triads are beautiful things. You'll play them the rest of your life. So today we're gonna take it one step further, and we're gonna talk about chord inversions. I want to make a comment. I made it in my last video, but I'll make it here as well. That how do you know when you're ready to move on to the next thing? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If you can play it error free at a pretty much song like tempo, you're ready to move on. You're ready to move on. I see so many people who are, they want to get, they hear things like, take your playing to the next level, and take your this, and blah, 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 all these marketing tools. And it really does trip people up, in my opinion. Why? Because they're up on the 11th floor, they're playing chords like this. They say, "Oh, that's cool. I want to play that." But they don't know this. The basics. It's sort of like when you study math. And music is very akin to math. So you kind of do chapter 1, you got 60% of it, you got 70% of it. You passed it, but you got 60%. Then you go to chapter 2, you got 60%. You notice you're leaving these holes. You never circle back and clean up those holes. By the time you get to chapter 6 and 7, boy, that's getting hard now. Not because chapter 6 and 7 is so hard. It's because you left all those holes. In this channel, with me, this, if you're advanced, the only reason you're watching this and you're advanced is that you're trying to clean up some holes that's in your playing. There is nothing advanced on my channel at all. I have videos for beginners and intermediate. And oh, by the way, if you're a beginner or intermediate and you want to work on foundational skills, put a note in the comment or contact me, and we might do some Skype or Zoom stuff. Okay, let's get to work on this particular subject, chord inversions. Let's start with a C major triad. Okay, so if you say, what is that? You need to go back and watch the previous video. Couple of ways you could have found that. You could find that by half steps, 4 half steps, 3 half steps. You'll get any. So by the time you reach this level, you should know all 12 major triads. Let's just walk them. There's a D flat. There's D. There's E flat. There's E. F. I'll just go right on up So I did it chromatically. I should be able to come down to. Now you don't really have to do it that fast, but you should be able to do that pretty snappy. It's pretty snappy. I could do it by the circle of fourths. C, F, B flat, B flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, send back to C. Somebody said regular people practice until they get it right, but the best people practice until they can't get it wrong. The other thing you can do with triads is you can arpeggiate the triads. Instead of playing this, you can go. And so forth. And it doesn't have to go bottom to top. Let's go back to C again. That's bottom, middle, top. Could go top, middle, bottom. Could go inside out. I like that one. That's I call that the railroad. Railroad tracks, middle. Let's do that on F. Let's do that on B flat. Put a little bass under that. Nice little device. Let's do it on E flat. You could what I call splash chords, and that's just a matter of turning your wrist as you play a chord like this. So it's kind of like a fast arpeggio instead of going. It's like a splash. It's a wrist move. Let's do it on B flat. Here it is on B. Good splash down, although I don't like them that much. I hardly ever use splash down. But I use splash up all the time. But your musical ear may be a little different than mine. Fine. Remember, in this channel, we're not trying to get to Carnegie Hall. I tell people all the time, I was in my 40s before I ever touched a musical instrument. And a lot of it is self-taught. So I'm not really privy to the music curriculum because I happen to know that 95% of people who study music will quit. Every time you practice anything, including this, try to find the joy in it. Music should evoke some emotion. Okay, so today we're talking about inversions. Simple concept. All we're going to do is take that bottom note and put it on top over here. Get rid of that. Get that. Same notes. Got to adjust your fingering a little bit. Here it is. Now we have what's called first inversion. Think of it like a horse race. C is now in first place. Down here, where we learned all our other chords, we're in root position, like the root of a tree, on the bottom. Here's first inversion. If I take this E and put it at the top, over here, I now have this. All under C. Or That's all inversions are. Same notes, different order. So here's root position. Let me take my left hand away so you can really see my virtual keyboard down there, right there. Here's first inversion. Here's second inversion. Go back and forth. Try it with a little rhythm. Why do we use inversions? Two reasons. One is a melody might cause you, if I'm playing a song and the melody is on C, well, and the chord is on C, I probably won't play that. Here I'm playing an F chord in root position, but the melody is on C. So let's try that again. The other reason is, which I just demonstrated, is inversions gives you better voice leadings. What do I mean by voice leading? So let's say I'm on a C chord, and I see the next chord I want to play is an F chord. Well, I could play this, but look at my hand had to jump around a little bit. I want to find the nearest, I'm on C, and I want to find the nearest F chord. Or so I look for any note that's in common. So here's an F chord. What does C and F have in common? Well, they both have C's in them, right? So if I can, I want to leave the common note, that note alone. I don't want to move that note. So that puts me here to F second inversion. Here's F root position, F. What if I wanted to move from an F chord to a B flat chord? Well, what does F and B flat have in common? It has F in common, so I just go That's why we do inversions. That's why we learn inversions. Now, here's a process for you. I think they stick in your head better when you play them as arpeggio, so I'm going to do all 12. So stick with me. Here's C. That was root position, first inversion, second inversion. Let's go to D flat. Here's D. I'm going to read up a little bit. This one here is interesting. I have fairly long fingers, as I'm sure you can see. Those are the notes. Now, if you want to play it with 1, 3, 5, that's perfectly fine. Because I have long fingers, I usually do this 1, 2, 3 thing. I don't know, I just fell into that some time ago. But 1, 3, 5 is perfectly fine too. So let's do E flat. Let's do E. 2, 3 thing again, but you certainly can do 1, 3, 5 like that. Same notes, just different fingering. Whatever fingering you choose, kind of stick with that. Here is F. By the way, that's exactly the way you should practice it. I know it's a little boring, but kind of make it fun. Let's take it down here. Let's do B flat. Let's do E flat. A flat. D flat. And G flat. B. And E. A. D. G. And now we're back to C again. That's chord inversions. Chord inversions. Work on those. Work on those until you really can just grab a chord in any inversion that you want. So let's go back to diatonic harmony that we talked about. I think it was in lesson 2 or 3 or something like that. In the key of C, or in any key, the one chord is a major. One chord is major. So let's just pause there and play those inversions. The 2 chord is minor. Let's play those inversions. Remember, we look at the notes, D, F, A, and all we're doing is taking the bottom and put it on the top, like that. Now we're taking this note and put it on the top. The 3 chord is also minor. The 4 chord is major. Let's come down here and play it. 5 chord is major. 6 chord is minor. 7 chord is a minor 7 flat 5. And now we're back to the 1 chord. I won't take the time to do that in this video, or it'll be a little bit long, but I'll do it maybe in a key or 2. Take another key, because C is easy, it's all the white notes, so just take another key that's got some black notes in it. And let's do the same thing. Let's take maybe F. First, we gotta know the F scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Remember, whole, start, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And again, that's another foundational skill. You should know all 12 of your major scales. And I think I covered that a couple of lessons back. So the one chord in key of F is F. Let's invert that. Let's invert it again. The 2 chord is G minor. Let's invert that. Let's invert it again. The 3 chord is A minor. Let's invert it. Let's invert it again. The 4 chord is B flat major. Let's invert it. Let's invert it again. The 5 chord is C. Let's invert it. Let's invert it again. The 6 chord is D minor. Let's invert it. The 7 chord is E minor 7 flat 5, which is this. Let's invert that. Invert it. Let's invert it again. And now we're back to F again. So do that in a few keys until you work yourself up that you can do that in all keys. Now, it's not as hard as you might think, because remember when we were in C, we got to the 2 chord, we said, oh, that's D minor. And we inverted it. Up, down, up, down, up, up. But when we were in F, we got to 6, the same D minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So D minor is 2 in C, but it's 6 in F. So these chords are going to repeat, but they just find a different slot depending on what key you're in. Okay, put in the comment section what you're working on, how it can help you, or what you want to see videos on, and I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Take care.